Welcome to the last in this series where I've been looking at the Wild Game Innovations trail camera range. As a wildlife photographer, these cameras play a crucial part in letting me know where certain animals are moving about and the time of the day that they're doing that, whether it be badgers, deer, or even something like a fox or something during the day. So far we've looked at the standard range that you expect to find a trail camera to look like, and if you wish to see any of these, click the link below or the link at the end. This is the top of the range. This is the 360 degree camera and it retails at £249.95, and for that you get a lot for your money. As it suggests, this camera can detect and film in 360 degree rotation. It's a 12 megapixel still camera it has inside, and it also shoots at 720p HD video. Now the beauty with this one is, and there's various ways you can set it up, and I'll show you one way that I would set it up in a minute or two, but there's a plate that goes on the back and you can put a spike up through there which would give you out in a location. It has a standard tripod thread mount on the bottom, so you can put it on a tripod, or I have a small bracket that I can fix it on anything that's got the standard tripod threading. Or you can do it with a strap which goes through here, and I'll show you that method. But the camera itself, if you look at it from the top here, you've got the sensor there that will tell you, well, it tells the camera anyway, whether it's night or day. We've got this one that tells you whether the camera's working or not, because it will flash red as and when you're setting it up. Once it's set up and you walk away, if you stay within the detection zone, anywhere up to 2 minutes, it will trigger and you will see the red light flashing to tell you that it's in operation. After 2 minutes, there's no lights come on whatsoever. It's completely covert. So you've got the covert detection zone here and the covert IRs in here. So if you put the camera up like that, a deer comes up from behind, the camera picks the heat and the movement up, the IRs and the camera there will then rotate round through the panel to the back here and start filming. So it'll film that deer, say for 30 seconds, in which time the deer has then moved to the front of the camera. So this camera depends on how the delay you set. We'll say 10 seconds. The camera will wait 10 seconds after it's filmed. Then the IRs and the camera will swing round and start filming it again. And it will continue to do so as long as the subject stays within the detection zone, which is about 70 feet, say, for a deer. Obviously, the smaller the animal, the closer it would need to be. And it will keep doing that. The actual camera itself, it's fairly easy to set up. It's got, open up in here, you've got the standard SD card there. It takes up to a 32 gigabyte. Always go for a class 10. That will allow you, because it's going to shoot 720p video, that will allow you to shoot at a fast speed and right to the card. So that goes in there. The battery compartment is at the bottom, so it just opens up like that here. And we just, here we go. And it takes AA batteries. It takes 8 of them. Really cold weather, I would go for Energizer Lithium. They seem to be the best at working in really cold conditions. But as my cameras are not out for long periods of time, I tend just to use AA rechargeables, something like 2500s or 2700s. They seem to work fine for me. That just clips in there. There's a rubber gasket here, so when you close it up, that it's weatherproof. Like anything, the other cameras that we've looked at, you just press the power button on and you get a menu system. The menu can look quite daunting when you first see it and you think, how am I going to set this up? It's actually quite easy. The main thing to remember is anytime you move anything and set it, confirm it with the OK button. But you just use the up and down arrows there and the OK to confirm it when you take it to what you want it to be at. So if you look at it for the top down, you have got the date and time at the top, which is fairly straightforward and something that I would always set in mind. Always want to know the date and the time that the camera was triggered. Location, you can actually add a location to if you want. If you're one of these people who move your cameras from site to site before you bring it back in, it's nice to know what location picked up which animal. And then you've got the trigger, which is either the PIR mode, the flexi time, or both. I would usually go for both, and that's on the safe side. And then you've got the flexi time itself, then you've got the PIR mode. Now that is whether it shoots still or video. Personally, I would always shoot video. Still, I've missed too many things with a still image waiting between the time when it activates. So video tends to be easier to identify creatures, I find. After that, you've got the PIR active, whether it's active all the time or just during the day or just at night. And then you've got the sensitivity of that PIR. These cameras are set off by heat and movement, so depending on the time of year, like in the summer, you're going to probably have it higher because it needs to differentiate between hot things in the environment, whereas in the winter it's cold air and the hot things easier picked up. But again, it's worth playing about with that just to get it to how you want it. Then you've got the exposure. The IRs send out this invisible beam of light that lights up your subject, and it can depend in what location you're in, even a bright sunny day, so you can turn that exposure up and down. So always do a test shot just to make sure you know what it is. And then you've got the resolution of the still image, which is high, medium or low. Always go for high. The better quality of the image you get, the better. And it's the same with the picture quality for the video. You've got regular or HD. Always shoot HD. You're going to get that better image to look at. And then lastly, you've got the delay, which as I say is either 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And I would set this at 15 seconds. And again, all you do is the red light's flashing there, so you would just close it up, walk away from the camera, wait till that red light goes out. Then I would always walk back in and trigger it just to make sure that red light come back on. Then, as I say, if you walk away after 2 minutes, it just won't come back on. That's it detecting, and it will be filming you. So what I'll do now is we'll have a look at how to set this camera up. Now, unlike the other cameras where you strap them straight to a tree trunk like that, this one, because it's 360 degree, you're going to need it above the top of the post. So I have a bracket that I can screw into certain trees or posts like that and hold it up. But if I take that one off, you get the strap is probably the way most people will fix it up. So the strap goes through the back there and goes over the top of the post. Now what you've got to remember is when you drop this down, don't drop the camera right down like that. Keep the IRs and the sensor clear of the top of the post here. So you've got the camera able to swing right round in its 360 degree without any interference. Perhaps even a bigger post than this, an old fence post or something like that would do, but just make sure when you strap it that you keep these bits clear, because you want it to detect the 360 degree round. And it's pretty much as straightforward as that. The other thing to do is, if you want to be a bit more covert in where you put it, is to get a normal fencing post, but cut that off the top, so that when you strap it and push it in this beside the fence, it finishes up at the same height as a row of fence posts would be, because if it's sitting prominently like that, it will be obvious to anybody walking past. Whereas if you've got it there it's roughly the same thickness as a round fence post anyway, and if that was replacing the fence post there to the ground, you might not notice it's same, and it's still got that 360 degree detection round it. So that's really the way I would set that one up. Again, I wouldn't have it too high, whereas you saw in the other videos where I was tilting them forward because I was wanting them detecting down onto the animals. You could move it if you think that high, and then obviously cut the post off a bit more if you think that's more of a height that you would like it. But certainly for deer and in an area like this, I would probably just keep it at that height there, put the strap on, tighten it up, fasten it and leave it at that, and see how it goes. And again, something's it by a wee bit of trial and error till you get the best fixing for you. Well, that was the 360 degree camera by Wild Game Innovations, available from Scott Country. So I hope you enjoyed these short tutorials, and I look forward to see you again in the future.